What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to our YouTube channel. Today I got another video in our 2021 NBA Draft Player Comparison Series. Today I got two players who could potentially go in the top 5. One player is definitely a lock to go in the top 5, and that is Evan Mobley. And the other player is a player who could potentially sneak into the top 5, depending on if a team, falls in love with him or not. In Scottie Barnes, he's kind of one of my, favorite players who I think is kind of slept on out of this group of kind of top tier players in the draft, as I think there's a lot to be excited about. His game offers a lot of versatility and a lot of things that fit with the modern NBA. Same with Evan Mobley. He's a player who could potentially be top 3, and some people even said could have a case for being the number 1 overall pick. And so with that being said, let's get into the comparison. So this is another one of those situations, I think, where it's hard to compare the two players just because they play such different positions. But I do think both players really fit today's NBA very well, as they have a ton of versatility and a ton of upside for both players. So starting with Scottie Barnes, he's a player who's 6'8", 6'8", 6'9", kind of depending on what website you look at. They all have him at different heights, but he's a wing player who really handles the ball really well, can pass the ball really well for someone his size. I think that Florida State had him listed as a point guard this last year, but I think when it comes to the NBA, he'll play more of that point forward type role where he'll probably have other guards on the floor with him, but he'll have the ability to initiate the offense at times and kind of play that point guard spot. But what I really like about Scottie is that he competes. He plays hard, especially on the offensive side of the ball, where he's not afraid to take advantage of smaller guys on him. He'll abuse them in the paint. He'll make other teams pay for putting small players on him. And if you put a big guy on him, he'll just step out to the perimeter, handle the ball, make the big guy play out on the perimeter, and take him from the hoop. And so a ton of offensive versatility from someone like Scottie Barnes. You'll combine that again with the physical skills that he has at that height. He's got insanely long arms. Not exactly sure on the wingspan. That varies depending on the website. But again, ton of versatility. I think the one thing offensively that will really kind of hold him back early in his career is his jump shot. It looks all right, I guess, but I think there's a lot of things that he'll have to clean up with that if he really wants to be, a consistent shooter at the NBA level. And so I think teams will definitely make him shoot jumpers early in his career, and that's going to be something that he's going to have to develop if he really wants to reach his full potential. Offensively, I've seen him compared to someone like, Giannis. Again, another long, lanky guy who has some guard skills in terms of being able to handle the ball, initiate the offense, stuff like that. And so I think offensively, dude has a really high ceiling, a lot of potential, and a lot of things that I think he can tap into offensively. You look at someone like Evan Mobley offensively. Again, versatility is the big thing with him. He's a 7-footer who shows some ability to handle the ball. He can shoot the jump shot a little bit. I think that'll get more consistent over time as he's got good mechanics. Length, athleticism, 7-footer. I mean, it's kind of everything you want out of a modern big guy. He's quick off the floor, can be strictly a lob target if that's what you wanted him to be. But he's just got so much more offensive skill that he'll never just be that in the NBA. I think that early in his career, in terms of jump shot, he'll live in that mid-range area, kind of a pick and pop like we've seen Anthony Davis do, out to that mid-range area. And I think eventually in his career he'll have a 3-point shot. I don't think that he'll ever be like a sniper from the 3-point range, but I think he'll be good enough to be able to keep the defense honest and make them respect that. Again, when you see Evan Mobley, I see Anthony Davis. He's got that type of skill set, that type of upside, and just that type of player that he is. And so offensively, I think again, versatile and a lot of upside with him. Moving over to the defensive side of the ball, I think both players have the potential to be really, really good on this end of the floor. Again, the key word with both these players is versatility. Starting again with Scottie Barnes, again 6'8", 6'9", whatever his height is, insane length. And again, the thing that I like most about him, outside of the physical tools and athleticism, is that the dude competes. It seems like he's willing to take on challenges. I think he's going to be the type of player who you can stick on the other team's best, probably 2-guard, small forward, power forward type player, and have him guard him. And I think he's going to do a good job of bothering that player, making the other guy, work for his buckets. And I think he's got all defensive team type potential. If that's, what he focuses on and wants to become an elite defender, I think he most definitely can be that. And again, like I said, the dude competes. Dude seems like he wants it. He wants to, be good on that end of the floor. And so I really like that about Scottie. Moving on to, Evan Mobley. Again, the big thing with him is versatility. He's 7 foot. He's really agile, can move his feet. He's quick off the floor, can block shots, has the wingspan. And so I think you're looking at, again, an Anthony Davis type player. Someone who can protect the hoop, but also has the ability to switch out onto guards and at least contain them, make things difficult for them, make them work for their buckets. And so obviously Evan Mobley's got to put on some weight. He's pretty skinny right now. He'll get pushed around by, the elite centers in the NBA. Right, from the start, we've seen what happened to him in the NCAA tournament with Drew Timme, and so you kind of have a little bit of concern in that regard. But putting on weight shouldn't be too big of an issue with an NBA training staff. But again, versatility, a lot of potential on this end of the floor, and I just see a ton of Anthony Davis with him, and I think he's got that type of potential on that end of the floor as well. So overall, I think it's clear that Evan Mobley will be the higher draft pick in this situation. I've seen him mocked, number 2 overall a lot. And I've heard people talk about him, potentially having a case for being the number 1 overall pick in the draft this year. The thing that would really scare me with Evan Mobley is that there's been reports that he really doesn't like basketball, that he kind of just played it because his dad coached at USC. His brother, played at USC with him, and he kind of just, played basketball because of that. He was good at it, but he doesn't really love it. And so that would kind of scare me in terms of him possibly not reaching his full potential, never reaching, that ceiling that he has, that Anthony Davis type ceiling, and he kind of just, is another player in the NBA. Scottie Barnes, on the other hand, will not be picked as high as Evan Mobley, but I really like his game. Really versatile, can play 1 through 4 probably in today's NBA, kind of depending on how you want to use him. Can definitely guard 1 through 4 in today's NBA, and the dude competes. It seems like he wants to be good on both ends of the floor, and so I think it's hard to really measure how much someone wants it. And I think Scottie's the type of player who wants it, and I think he wants to be good. And so I'm not saying that he'll ever end up being better than Evan Mobley, but I wouldn't be shocked if there's a situation where he is, or it does end up being the better player in the NBA. And so those are kind of just my thoughts on this, the situation. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts on these 2 players. How good do you think they'll be in the NBA? Who do you think's better? Stuff like that. Leave those thoughts down in the comment section below. Make sure to hit the like and subscribe button, and I'll talk to you guys later.